Welcome to Dare to Soar with your host, Dr. RC. Dr. RC will empower, encourage, and strengthen you. She will help you to soar to your highest potential while instilling hope. Please welcome the host of Dare to Soar, Dr. RC.
Good Saturday morning, everyone. Oh, and what a beautiful Saturday morning this is. Welcome to Dare to Soar. And of course, I am Dr. RC. Let's get started today. Chosen, cherished, and called. And loving yourself at a higher level. That's what I'm going to be talking about this morning. But before I dive into that, let me give you a little bit background content. You see, today is different. Why is it different, Dr. RC? I'm so glad that you're inquiring about that. I can see those question marks going on. Today is different because today we're not talking about the roses, which are absolutely beautiful. We're not talking about the romance, but is also beautiful. We're not even talking about who posted you or who forgot to. Today, we're talking about worth, and that's your worth. Because before we are ever liked, before we are followed, before we are ever dating, before we're even chosen, you are already called. Called to rise, called to grow, called to love at a higher level. And somewhere along the way, many of us just absolutely forgot. We're human, no pun on that. We started measuring our value, you see, by who stayed, who texted, who approved, and who clapped. But today, as we get started, we're going to return to our truth. We're not waiting to be chosen. No, we're not. We're not waiting for that moment to happen. So now I want you to just take a deep breath with me and inhale your worth. Can't you feel the surge of energy as you do that? And then exhale comparison. Now let's get ready to soar together. Welcome once again. This is Dare to Soar, and I am Dr. RC, your host. Chosen, cherished, called, loving yourself at a higher level. I'm going to dive right in because I want to make great use of the time. Welcome once again. I can't say that enough. Remember to like, share, and bring a friend as well when you're watching this episode today. Many of us were just trained to wait to be picked for a team, picked for a promotion, a relationship, or just picked for an opportunity overall. And without even realizing it, you see, we began auditioning for acceptance. Do I need to say that to you again? We began auditioning for acceptance. We adjust our tone, we adjust our standards, not because we didn't know our worth, but because we were afraid of being overlooked. I want to let that settle for a moment. We are afraid to be overlooked. You see, society has an obsession with couples and culture. It is a natural response of the hierarchy of life and how we live this life in this world. We live in a world that celebrates being chosen. Engagement photos, weddings, hashtags, anniversary tributes. And there's nothing wrong with love. But somewhere along the way, we started equating being chosen with being valuable, with being valuable. Let that seep in for a moment. If you're single, people ask if you're building something, or people assume you're lonely. If you're focused, they wonder, who are you waiting for? What are you becoming? That's about performance-based love. Now, is that wrong? I'm not going to say it's wrong. I'm not going to say it's right. It is a choice, but we're going to dive deeper into all of that this morning as well. Some of us learned early on that love must be earned. If I give more, I'll be more valued. If I do more, I'll be appreciated more. If I shrink, I'll be kept. But you see, love that requires performance is not love, it's approval. And approval can be withdrawn. Real love does not require you to exhaust yourself to maintain it. Did you get that, guys? It doesn't require you to exhaust yourself to maintain it. But then we go into the fear of solitude. Ah, let's talk about something honest. And Dr. RC likes to give it to you straight. I want to be transparent in the information deliver to you. So, being honest, the fear of being alone, not lonely, alone. Silence can feel uncomfortable at times when you are used to so much noise. But solitude, it is not punishment. It is not. No, it is preparation. Some of your greatest clarity, and I can attest to that, some of your greatest clarity will come not in the company, but it will come in the quiet. It will come in the quiet. Have you ever noticed how you'll have those aha moments or reflective moments when you're in your peace, in your quiet? How many times have you softened your standards just to avoid sitting alone? How many times have you text back when you knew you shouldn't have? Over explain to keep the peace. Accepted inconsistency to avoid emptiness. I want to let that sink in for a moment because I'm getting the signal, guys. It's time for a commercial. But while we're on commercial, just breathe all that I've shared in with you right now. Don't go away. I will be right back with more. Cherished, chosen, and called. See you in a moment.
Dr. RC will share extraordinary resources and services that promote educational success, as well as making a difference in the lives of all social workers, as well as the lives of children, adolescents, and teens of today. She will have open discussions addressing many of the issues that we face about our youth and how being employed in the uniquely skilled profession of social work for over 18 years has taught invaluable lessons through her personal experiences. She will also provide real-life facts, examples, and personal stories that will confirm that why serving as a child advocate is extremely beneficial when addressing the needs of the whole child. Listen live to Dare to Soar, Saturdays 10 a.m. Eastern, as Dr. RC will provide thought-provoking information that will empower, encourage, and strengthen students, families, and communities across our nation. You can also visit her at soarwithkatie.com. Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness: Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them, rediscover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies, find settings that allow them to be the most productive, and track their progress towards accomplishing goals.
Welcome back, family. Oh, it's me, Dr. RC. And yes, of course, this is Dare to Soar. My topic of discussion for this morning is chosen, cherished, and called. Why? Because you're loving yourself at a higher level. So, as I continue on this morning, I want you to reflect deeply. I want you to share boldly and rise confidently by the end of this hour. Well, little less than an hour right now. I want to get back into the context that I'm sharing with you. But let me share with you guys that I'm going to be dropping some what I call power lines, some reflective moments as well. So get those pens, pencils ready. And I hope that notebook is ready also. And those pages have begun to flip. So as I dive back in, here's your power line. Some of us are just exhausted because you've been performing instead of being. Now, I want you to say it slowly with me. You've been performing instead of being. You're tired because you've been performing instead of just being. Let that go in your brain for a moment. You see, performing is like this. Performing is liked, performing to be kept, performing to be approved also. But here's the truth of it: the right spaces do not require a performance, they welcome your presence. I have to say that again. That's my power line for you. The right spaces do not require a performance. They welcome your presence. Now, let me give you some reflection on that. What would you change if you stopped proving and started believing? That's a question for you to just respond and put it down in your notebooks also. Believe that you are already enough. You don't need validation to be valuable. You don't need to lower your standards to be secure in love. What would you shift in your life if you made decisions from alignment instead of fear? That's another question for you to jot down. And if you're driving, you can play this over in your head also. So here's some practicality to it. And I want to give you some encouragement on top of that also. Choosing yourself looks like this. This is from the words of Dr. RC. Speaking your truth without apology, saying no without over explaining, leaving with or leaving what dishonors you. Let me say it that way: leaving what dishonors you, but rising your standards quietly as well. I want to give you some self affirmation with this also. Just something to practice, and then you can kind of think of some on your own, which I'm sure that many of you across the globe will do. Every morning, say this to yourself: I approve of myself. I trust myself. I choose myself. Now, not because someone else did, but because you did it yourself. You're choosing you. You're approving of yourself, and you trust yourself. Now, as I give this to you, I want you to try to think of some affirmations that you can have on your own as well. Very simple and easy. It doesn't have to be anything long. And then do yourself one better. If they don't come to you automatically, write them down. Put them on a sticky note, someplace where you know that you will see it each and every day. And guess what, Eagle family? It is okay to change it up some. It is okay if you have several of them. You may have one for each day of the week and then circle back around to them again. Or you may want to save one for the entire week, and that's fine also. It just depends on how you're feeling. Choosing yourself, it's not selfish. Let me be clear about that. It is not selfish. It is self-leadership. That's what it is. You see, leaders do not wait to be validated. They move with clarity. When you choose yourself, you stop negotiating your worth. You stop shrinking your brilliance. You stop chasing what does not choose you back. And when you do that, you don't lose love. You filter it. Did you hear me, guys? You don't lose love. You're filtering it. I'm going to go even deeper with this because choosing yourself requires healing as well. And I've broken down some tidbits to share. I like to call them my golden or platinum nuggets that we all need to hear time and time again. I repeat things to myself, especially affirmations. I love affirmations. You guys have heard me say that before. I love them. I love writing them and coming up with my own. But I also love sharing them with others also, because you never know what words that you're putting together may empower or encourage someone else that needs it at that particular time. Or it's like a reel that repeats in their brain over and over again because they need that strength to continue forward. Healing before attachment goes like this. Unhealed wounds do not disappear in relationships. They multiply. So I want to explain that just a little bit. They don't disappear. They multiply. Attached styles can become secure, anxious, or avoidant. Why past wounds follow us? That's a great question, isn't it? You see, trauma bonding versus healing connection is one way. Intensity, not intimacy. Chemistry, not compatibility. Attention is not commitment either. when we look at this. I want you to allow the information to seep in. Take your notes, because guess what? Chosen, cherished, and called. That's you. But just learning how important it is to love yourself at a higher level also. Healthy love feels steady. Healthy love feels steady. It's not confusing. It's not chaotic, nor is it conditional when we think about that. But here's the encouragement. Therapy as courage. It takes courage. Journaling, writing down, freeing yourself of what you feel may be holding you down, or you may not even recognize what may be holding you down. But once you see pen to paper or pencil to paper, it's like a breath of fresh air, an honest emotional inventory. I had a professor once that used to tell me that you need to take inventory of yourself, which is very true. We all do. Sometimes it's important to do that, having those moments where you just assess yourself. Let me give you a power line right here. Broken people chase fireworks. Healed people build foundations. Broken people chase fireworks. Healed people chase foundations. I'm going to hold right there. It is time for another commercial break. Yes, Dr. RC, dare to soar. Don't you go away. I have more to share right after this commercial break.
Did you know that your beliefs create your entire reality, but it's the subconscious beliefs that do most of the creating? Belief shifter and life coach Shiraz can help you identify those limiting beliefs and eliminate them, often in a single session.
Like, it was almost instant. Like, I had relief right away.
Creating better health, relationships, careers, and finances. Let Shiraz help you step out of safety and into awareness.
Definitely something's happening. It's like a flow inside. It feels good.
Whether in person or online, Shiraz provides personal coaching, belief shifting. Visit Shiraz at energeticmagic.com or call 416-529-7429. Energetic Magic. Find your greater happiness. Be well. Be aware. Be magical.
Are you struggling to care for elderly parents or a spouse? Do you wonder if being a caregiver is making you sick? Are you worried about taking time off work to care for elderly parents and balance work, life, and caregiving? Has caregiving become exhausting and emotionally draining? Are you an aging adult who wants to remain independent, but you're not sure how? I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Join me for the Caring Generation radio show for caregivers and aging adults, Wednesday evenings, 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern, where I answer these questions and share tips for managing stress, family relationships, health, well-being, and more. Podcasts and transcripts of The Caring Generation are on my website, PamelaDWilson.com, plus my caregiving library, online caregiver support programs, and programs for corporations interested in supporting working caregivers. Help, hope, and support for caregivers is here on The Caring Generation and PamelaDWilson.com.
Good Saturday morning once again, guys. Oh, yes, I am Dr. RC. This is Dare to Soar. Remember to like, share, and comment on this segment for this morning. You are chosen, you are cherished, you are called. Why? Because loving yourself at a higher level is critical. It is important. And with that being said, let's dive into you are called to more. You are called to more. You're more than someone's partner. You're someone's answer, someone's solution, someone's leader. Think about all those things, because you are. Let me say that again, because some of you may have reduced your identity to what Texas back. What Texas back. You are more than someone's spouse, more than someone's girlfriend or partner, more than someone's plus one. And all of those titles are interchangeable. I just wanted to share a few. You are impact. You are influence. You are purpose in motion. And when you forget that, you shrink your destiny to fit someone else's comfort. And I don't want you to do that. I want you to love or feel like you're loving your purpose, because you do. Loving your purpose. Loving is not just romantic. Loving is waking up aligned. Loving is honoring your calling as well. Loving is pursuing what pulls on your spirit. Some people are waiting to be loved, but some were called to build. Purpose, you see, it does not wait for permission. No, it does not. And it does not wait for participation either. Hold on to that. Let that reflect for a moment. What is, or what if this season is not about finding someone? Let's just throw that out there. But about finding yourself. That's what this is all about. Finding yourself. When you love your purpose, you stop chasing validation. You start chasing growth. You measure your life by impact and not attention. Oh, I want you to love that within you. Loving your growth season. Let's just say if this was a loving your growth season. Growth seasons are quiet. They are stretch. They are refining. And sometimes they're not glamorous, but that's okay if they're not. Sometimes growth looks like therapy appointments, reading instead of reacting, saying no instead of explaining, also. But building when no one is clapping. Your season of solitude it just may be preparation, not punishment. I want you to let that breathe in for a moment, because I'm going to repeat that. Your season of solitude may be preparation and not punishment. Did you get that? I want you to get that. Write that down. You see, sometimes God isolates us before he elevates us. Ooh, Dr. RC, you just said a mouthful then. I feel you. I feel you. Sometimes separation protects your expansion. Sometimes silence strengthens your self-trust. Solitude is not rejection. It is refinement. It's not rejection. But while we're doing this, we're building while single, because we have to do that, because it's only one you. There's no trade in. Building while single, it is so, so powerful. And why? I'm so glad that you're wondering that. You can create vision without compromise, establish standards without negotiations, also develop discipline without distraction while you're in this process. Some of the strongest foundations are laid when no one, and absolutely no one is watching. Think about that for a moment. Just reflect on some things or over the years in your life and see if you find that to be true. And when you are whole before partnership, you don't look for someone to complete you. You look for someone to be completed with. You're not waiting, you are becoming. You're not waiting, you're becoming. And why? Because you're chosen, cherished, and called. When you elevate your standards in every area, and we do, because it's a process of life, we're going to have our highs and lows, and then, sometimes things are going to go up, 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 up. This is bigger than romance. Raising your standards applies to friendships, businesses, family dynamics, professional spaces as well, even self-talk. Now, there's always sometimes a little chuckle when we say the word self-talk. And then the humor behind that is, as long as you don't respond to yourself. Hey, that's just my little ha-ha moment for that. If you tolerate less in one area, it bleeds into others. Elevation is holistic. It truly is. I want you to ask yourself, does this align with who I am becoming? Does it? Ask yourself that question. And if you can't answer it right now, write it down, jot it down, and go back to it a little later, because you may need to think about it for a little while, and that's okay. No, who I was, know who I fear being, who I am becoming. Think about those three little things. Like I said, jot it down, reflect on it, give yourself a moment. But while you're doing that, I want to give you another affirmation. I call them affirmation moments. Slow delivery, invite repetition. I am not behind. I am becoming. I want you to say that again. Slow delivery, invite repetition. I am not behind. I am becoming, because you are. I am not behind. I am becoming. Keep saying that to yourself. The comparison will tell you you're late. Purpose will tell you you're right on time. Because if you're becoming, you're right on time. And you have to keep up with that. I want you to think about this. The topic: chosen, cherished, and called. Loving yourself at a higher level. And what better day than today to love yourself on a higher level? I'm going to let you hold on to that. It is time for another commercial break. Don't go away. I'll be right back.
Mike Zorek, a three-time California state champion in Greco-Roman wrestling at 114 pounds. Mike, blind since birth, was born in Hartford, Connecticut. He was a six-time national placer, including 2 seconds, 2/3, and 2/4. He also won the Veterans Folk-Style Wrestling twice at 152 pounds. In all these tournaments, he was the only blind competitor. Nancy Zorek, a creative spirit whose talents have taken her to the stage and into galleries and exhibitions in several states. Her father, a commercial artist who shared his instruments with his daughter and helped her fine-tune her natural abilities, influenced her decision to follow in his footsteps. Ms. Zorek has enjoyed a fruitful career doing what she loves. Listen Saturday mornings at 12 Eastern for the Nancy and Mike Show for heartwarming stories and interesting talk. What if there were a super tiny device that could diagnose the brain and is smaller than a single human hair? What if you could see inside the brain to help an epilepsy patient during surgery or to help the fight against Parkinson's disease? Dr. Patricia Broderick is proud to announce the Broderick Probe, a biomedical and electronic breakthrough. Imagine a probe to help with the understanding and potential cure of brain-related diseases. To learn more, listen live to the Easy Sense radio show with host Dr. Broderick. And to help support the Broderick Foundation, please go to easysense.com and learn how, with your help, we can fight these horrific brain disorders. That's easysense.com to learn more and help support the Broderick Foundation.
Welcome back once again. Oh, yes, of course. This is Dare to Soar, and you know it. It's me, Dr. RC. I want to jump right back in, but I want to give you a little tidbit. As you guys know, I am the founder and CEO of Soar with Katie. My logo is an eagle. So while preparing this segment for each and every one of you, I wanted to throw a little metaphor in here for you. So here's my metaphor, my signature metaphor. And it's about the eagle. You see, eagles do not wait for validation from the flock. They soar because it is who they are. Eagles don't argue with pigeons. They rise above the noise. I love that. They rise above the noise. They don't compete for the crumbs. They hunt at a higher altitude. And neither should you. Neither should you. When you know who you are, when you don't beg to belong, you build your own atmosphere. Think about that. You're building your own atmosphere. You're not designed to hover. No, you are absolutely not. You were designed, and I do mean designed, to soar. So I want you to keep that. And I hope you took notes on that also while I was sharing that with you. So I want to continue on as I talk about this, but I want you to know Each and every one of you, you're chosen, you're cherished, and you are absolutely called. That's what this message is about on today, February the 14th, Valentine's Day. While giving practical encouragement, I want to share vision and clarity with you. But also, I want you to reflect on what I'm sharing with you this morning. I want you to share it boldly, but rise confidently by the end of this hour as well. I want you to write down who you're becoming. And if you're driving, please don't do this while you're driving. Don't text while you're driving. Also, you can always go back and watch the playback of this show. But if you're not, write it down. Write down who you are becoming. I want you to put down goal alignments. Are you daily choosing? Are your daily choices aligned with your future self? Is it? Ask yourself that. Your personal mission statement. Think of one for yourself. What is it that you stand for? What do you refuse? And I do mean absolutely refuse to compromise. That's a big one. If someone walked into your life tomorrow, would they meet a whole version of you? These are just some things I put together. Or a waiting version of you. I think I need to say that one again. If someone walked into your life tomorrow, would they meet the whole version of you or a waiting version of you? Think about that. Stop waiting to be chosen. Stop waiting to be chosen. Start becoming undeniable, because each and every one of you are. You're called to do so much more than romance. And it's nothing wrong with romance, but I want you to love yourself at a higher level. You're called to influence, to lead, to peace, to standards as well. And when you rise in your purpose, you don't chase love, you attract alignment. And as we are continue to talk about this, raising the standards, you're doing that as well. And I want you to recognize that also, that you're raising the standards. You see, on this Valentine's Day, we're shifting the focus, and I wanted to shift the focus. I could have put together the sweet, sweet, but this is sweet, sweet, because the sweet, sweet focuses on you. And that's important, because without you, nothing else can transpire. Nothing else can happen. No steps can be made. It's not just about the romance, not just about relationship status, but the kind of love that sustains you when the world grows quiet. And at times, the world can grow quiet. I want you to focus on that. That's why I share this title. You're chosen, you're cherished, you're called. And more importantly, you're loving yourself at a higher level as well. You're rising to the standard. The love you accept teaches people just how to treat you. And that's important. I have to repeat that again, because sometimes when we're busy and in a rush of the day, we get confused about some things. Not on purpose, not always unintentional, but it's just life happens and life will happen. It happens. The love that you accept teaches people how to treat you, not what you say you deserve. Now, not what you post about either, not what you threaten to walk away from. There are times when we have to be very intentional about things. What you consistently tolerate either. I want you to let that breathe in. Breathe that in for a moment as I've shared that with you. When you accept inconsistency, you teach people you'll adjust. Is that what we want to do? We can be flexible. Absolutely. But should we always teach people that we'll adjust? When you accept disrespect, you teach people you'll endure. No one deserves to be disrespected, period. When you accept emotional crumbs, you teach people that minimal effort is enough. But here's the truth. Here is the truth. You're not asking for too much. No. You may simply be asking the wrong person. And that's a possibility as well. It's about taking care of yourself and letting others know that you respect yourself and you expect the same out of them in your interactions, comments, exchanges. Also, it's about emotional safety. Healthy love feels emotionally safe. You can express your concern without being dismissed, share vulnerability without being weaponized, disagree without being punished. So remember these things that Dr. RC said: dismissed, weaponized, or being punished. You can express concern, you can share your vulnerability, and you can disagree. We're not living in a world where everyone agrees on the same things. If that were the case, everyone would be the same. There could be no exchange, no new bright ideas, innovations, techniques, all of those things as well. When we do that, we are creating consistency for ourselves as well. It is time for another commercial break. I think that's a good place to hold right now since I am receiving the flag. Guys, don't go away. I do have a little bit more to share.
Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness: Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them, rediscover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies, find settings that allow them to be the most productive, and track their progress towards accomplishing goals. Did you know that your beliefs create your entire reality, but it's the subconscious beliefs that do most of the creating? Belief shifter and life coach Cherished can help you identify those limiting beliefs and eliminate them, often in a single session.
Like, it was almost instant. Like, I had relief right away.
Creating better health, relationships, careers, and finances. Let Cherished help you step out of safety and into awareness.
Definitely something's happening. It's like a flow inside. It feels good.
Whether in person or online, Cherished provides personal coaching, belief shifting. Visit Cherished at energeticmagic.com or call 416-529-7429. Energetic Magic. Find your greater happiness. Be well. Be aware. Be magical.
Welcome back once again. Yes, this is me. It is me, Dr. RC, and this is Dare to Soar. Today, I wanted to talk about loving yourself at a higher level. Why? Because you are chosen, you are cherished, and you are called. Called on so many levels, chosen on so many levels, and cherished. But you do all of those things for yourself before the outside entities come into play. And that's why this is so important, especially on the day of love. We have to first learn how to love ourselves before we can spread any goodness out to anyone else. Right before the break, I was sharing about emotional safety, and I talked about healthy love is emotional and safe. And you can express your concerns also. You can share your vulnerability, and you can disagree. And it's nothing wrong with those things also. But I also want to go a little further to share emotional safety means you are not walking on eggshells. Can you hear them just cracking if you're walking on eggshells? Just that tenseness. You don't want to do that. No one wants to do that. You're not afraid to speak. You are not anxious about expressing needs either. and you're not shrinking to keep peace. If your nervous system is constantly activated around someone, this is that information that you want to hold on to and just kind of reflect on as well. Safety is not boring, it's stabilizing because it keeps you balanced. You want to be balanced when you're thinking about that. But also, we need consistency. All of us need consistency, the repetition of it all. And those are friendly reminders to ourselves and getting those brain waves to say, okay, this is the direction that I'm going. I need to be mindful of said X, Y, and Z. Consistency builds trust as well, not occasional effort, not convenience based affection, not mood dependent attention either. No, consistency builds trust. Consistency means this also: words match actions, presence matches promise, and effort, that effort is steady and it's not seasonal. It doesn't take a summer and a winter. It goes through all of the seasons consistently, and it goes steady as well. We want to do that. Now, are we perfect in doing this? Absolutely not. It is going to take time, especially if you're just starting out with this. If someone only shows up when it benefits them, that is not a partnership. That is not a partnership. Why? Because you deserve steadiness. You are deserving, because guess what? You're chosen, you're cherished, and you are called. But first, we have to know and understand what it means to love ourselves at a higher level, because that is key. And then we roll in respect. Respect is important also. Respect is not a bonus feature. Just like you may read the credits and say, oh, here it is, X, Y, and Z. You get it. Respect is the foundation. Respect looks something like this: speaking kindly even during conflict. Speaking kindly even during conflict. Protecting your dignity in public and in private. That's important as well. Protecting yourself. That's key. Listen to understand. I always want to listen to understand. Sometimes we can have conversations and talk at the same time an individual is talking and we get nothing. But when we're listening, we're understanding. We're not doing it to win. We want our receptors want to be on so we can fully engage in what's being shared and what we're sharing as well. If someone repeatedly crosses lines, you're clearly drawn. That is not misunderstanding. It's just simple disregard as well. If someone repeatedly cross lines, you've clearly drawn. That is not misunderstanding. It is just simple disregard. And guess what, guys? You do not build healthy love on disregard. You can't. Because once again, as I said at the beginning, it's about respecting one another, about that respect. And that respect is not a bonus feature. Then we want to look at accountability. We're always hearing that word. Oh, I'm going to hold you accountable. Hold, it's accountability to this and all of those things. But it's mature love. It's about mature in your love. And then that includes accountability as well. Because we want to be healthy people. When we're healthy people, apologizes without excuses, adjust behaviors as well, and repair what they've damaged also. But then we have to be realistic and look at unhealthy patterns also, because it's not one-sided. Don't want to be blind to anything. Deflect, blaming, minimalizing, gaslighting. That's a word that's often thrown around. But if someone says, that's just how I am, that's just how I am. Are they being respectful of you? Are they holding themselves accountable to what's been shared? But instead of saying that, I'll do better. I will do better because they are taking in the impact that it had on you. Believe the pattern. Love is not perfection, but it is responsibility. But then we have to know how to reciprocate as well when we're going through this process. Love is not one person over functioning. It can't be. It absolutely cannot be. You should not always be the planner, the emotional regulator, the peacemaker as well, the one initiating repair. If you're the one who's jumping to that all the time, I want you to take a step back and think about it. Think about the process. Think about how the engaging pieces can be different. Think about the reciprocity of it as well. Because reciprocity means mutual investment. It means that we're both invested in this. If you are constantly pouring and rarely replenishing, that's like a gas tank that's going on E. That's the way I can put that. That was pretty good, Dr. RC. Well, thank you guys. And it's rarely in that way. That is imbalance. And imbalance breed resentment, and no one wants to be resentful. Guys, it's time for another commercial break. Hold on to that because you are chosen, cherished, and called. Be right back after this commercial break.
Are you struggling to care for elderly parents or a spouse? Do you wonder if being a caregiver is making you sick? Are you worried about taking time off work to care for elderly parents and balance work, life, and caregiving? Has caregiving become exhausting and emotionally draining? Are you an aging adult who wants to remain independent but you're not sure how? I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Join me for the Caring Generation radio show for caregivers and aging adults, Wednesday evenings, 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern, where I answer these questions and share tips for managing stress, family relationships, health, well-being, and more. Podcasts and transcripts of The Caring Generation are on my website, PamelaDWilson.com, plus my caregiving library, online caregiver support programs, and programs for corporations interested in supporting working caregivers. Help, hope, and support for caregivers is here on The Caring Generation and PamelaDWilson.com.
Dr. RC will share extraordinary resources and services that promote educational success, as well as making a difference in the lives of all social workers, as well as the lives of children, adolescents, and teens of today. She will have open discussions addressing many of the issues that we face about our youth and how being employed in the uniquely skilled profession of social work for over 18 years has taught invaluable lessons through her personal experiences. She will also provide real-life facts, examples, and personal stories that will confirm that why serving as a child advocate is extremely beneficial when addressing the needs of the whole child. Listen live to Dare to Soar, Saturdays 10 a.m. Eastern, as Dr. RC will provide thought-provoking information that will empower, encourage, and strengthen students, families, and communities across our nation. You can also visit her at soarwithkatie.com.
Welcome back once again. Dare to Soar, Dr. RC, that's me. I want to finish up and wrap this up. My time is coming to a close. So here's a truth moment. If you have to beg for basic decency, that is not love. I want you to slow that down. You shouldn't have to beg for it. It's about communication, the honesty, the respect, the time, the consideration. Begging creates imbalance. Standards create clarity as well. Now, I want to give you this power line. Loneliness is temporary. Self-abandonment is permanent. Let that settle. You can survive a season alone, but repeatedly betraying your own boundaries erodes your confidence. Every time your silence, your intuition to keep someone, you teach yourself that your voice is negotiable, and it's not. I want you to be encouraged. Your boundaries without apology. You do not owe everyone access to you. Detaching from potential. You're not dating someone's future. You're experiencing their present. Walking away from patterns. keep repeating themselves. It is not confusion, it is a cycle. And raising your standards does not make you difficult. It makes you clear about your worth, your peace, your alignment, and your growth also. When you are clear, you don't chase, you attract. When you are clear, you don't beg, you filter. When you are clear, you don't shrink, you will rise. This Valentine's Day, you don't need to lower your standards to avoid being alone. You need to elevate your standards to protect your peace. Because when you raise your standards, you don't lose love. You lose what never aligned and what remains as well. Slow, intentional, memorable. May this Valentine's Day be the greatest act of love to finding someone new. It's honoring you after all. Maybe the love story changes your life. It's not about who walks in, but about who you refuse to tolerate. You are chosen, you are cherished, you are called, not because someone said so, but because you decided so. I choose peace. I choose growth. I choose standards. I choose myself. So, as I close out with you, this has been Dare to Soar, and I'm so thankful for you tuning in. Remember to like, share, and comment. If this segment moved you in any way, I want you to do those things. And I want you to continuously follow me as well. Send this to someone who needs to remember their worth because they are worthy. Because love at a higher level starts within. And until next time, guys, keep daring to soar higher in confidence, higher in clarity, and higher in your calling. And also never, ever be afraid to elevate to new heights as you spread your wings and dare to soar. Thank you so much for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Happy Valentine's Day once again. Enjoy this absolutely beautiful and phenomenal day. Have an enjoyable, relaxing, and safe rest of your weekend as well. Take care. Bye-bye.
This has been Dare to Soar with your host, Dr. RC. Come take a ride and soar to your highest level possible each week on Dr. RC's Dare to Soar.